So hopefully they do consider ban that out. If not, I think Onic Philippines might have a very easy time at the center of the map with Brusco on the choke.
Yeah, Team Spirit's also been doing a great job at picking heroes and leaving, you know, something that was a lot of problem in last year's the Farza open, but knowing like it's okay if you pick it. We have lots of answers for it. Gatot taken out. I mean, right now it's feeling very similar to Game 1 where Team Spirit's kind of putting Onic PH in this weird spot where what are they going to do with their mid lane here? You're running out of options.
The man does have a wide pool. I am not going to take it away from Super Friends to consider locking in the Valir or even a Kagura yet again.
Yeah, both of which would actually do pretty decent into TS, right? Because it's about peel, it's less about damage. There we go, the Angela. See, that's why the Fulvius was such a weird ban. They could have let it through because they already had the counter pick on their side. Yes, it does a bunch of damages, but like, sure, you're not going to win the lane, which is kind of the important thing coming in. Sorry, the important theme. So pairing it up with also banning the Angela makes a lot more sense.
Okay, what's the last ban
from Team Spirit? Do they just continue into Rome here? Gatot's gone. Take out Tigreal.
The Tigreal might suddenly be a surprise option as well for Team Spirit later on, especially in the hands of Sawo. They are going up against a Joy. Then that means it's a Badang CC matchup in EXP and Jungle Baksha. If ever that is the route we're going to end up with. They take out the Kadita. I think the two bans of Spirit are a little bit too obvious that they're leaning towards Farsa for the center of the map.
Yeah, Onic PH, they can go for Kimi, they can go for Farsa, both of which are pretty good. I think the Farsa might just be a lot better this time around because they don't need the inevitable engage, they need the big chunks.
Could be Brusco pick now, then just save Super Friends pick for 5 so that you go in with a little bit of element of surprise, because so far Onic PH, I feel like a lot of their drafts, or the drafts that they lean into towards MSC, has that one element of surprise. And I think for this one, it could be the Super Friends pick at 5, if ever.
It's definitely a tough spot, and I think both teams really taking their time with this draft. I think this game right here is going to kind of be the tilter on how the rest of this goes. They go for the Cho. Solid. I mean, overall, it's, I mean, it's a decent pick, no matter what. It's nothing like, it's not like, oh, this is the answer, but it's not, you know. It's not out of this realm.
Yeah, no, I think that this is better. That way they can really utilize Super Friends' like deep hero pool. It might end up just being like Valir Cho, really depending on what this pick from the side of TS, whether it's the Farsa or it's the Kimi. Either or, pretty decent at this point. You've got some pretty clear direction with the comp.
Could be Farsa, Kimi, and then maybe even a Lapu Lapu for Kid Bomba. I feel like they need something a little bit more explosive as well in the EXP. They already have the Baksha, the Badang. I feel like a Glue would be a little bit too overload in terms of thinking about crowd control and utility. The Lapu Lapu could provide them that explosiveness, but they go for the Arlot instead, paired up with the Farsa. So they're looking to make a few of the maybe potential mispositionings that could come out from Onic Philippines a little bit more punishable.
I'm for it because you have 3 enablers, and I think Badang is already a pretty strong enabler for the Arlot to kind of go crazy throughout the match. The issue now is that you can play on both sides. You have two laners that potentially, I think that Higo should be okay, which means that, unfortunately for Kid Bomba, he needs to be the one that stays alive, assuming that this Arlot goes into the EXP, which I don't think it's going to be the case.
Yeah, we think what Arlot Rome, Badang EXP. I like Team Spirit's draft. Last mage pick is the Lu Yi. It's the pick I wanted to see earlier.
Yep.
Onic PH, again, just kind of drafting with comfort, I feel like. Not being binded to anything.
Yeah, comfort plus that additional element of the Super Friends surprise pick.
Yeah, I think that TS right now, if anything, just don't suck at the laning phase, right? That's if they can survive that, then we're going to see a real match against them versus Onic PH.
Super Friends got a Selena in game number 2. Now he gets another signature pickup in the Lo Yi, a pick that has somewhat dipped out in terms of priorities, but when shown up, actually has served some surprises in previous tournaments, and especially here in MSC. Can Onic push the envelope and go 2-1, or will Team Spirit shock him and take this game number 3? Bring it in, Naisu. What do you two think?
Well, this is another pick over to Super Friends. One of the few players that I would say would be brave enough even to bring out the Lu Yi right now in the meta that we're finding ourselves in. We'll see if it's all enough to bring it to a match point for Onic Philippines if they get this one, or if we see it TS bring it together with this. Again, I have to agree with Gideon here. They got to win the lanes, bring it up.
Yep, getting past the laning phase to at least be on equal footing, regardless of the disadvantages of the lineup, is going to be very vital for Team Spirit, considering that it has been one of the most noticeable things in the previous game, in the way that they just completely let go of the momentum, just allowed Onic PH to take over the entirety of the game. But I feel like with the lineup that they have right now, they have a lot more tools to be able to keep up. And right now, they're showing us how they just want to keep playing just as aggressively up against Onic PH. That was an early flicker forced out of Brusco, and that definitely already means something.
Yeah, I guess that was, better than nothing. They do get the battle spell out, and we've seen it before where even a, AHL early on can do enough damage. This is the same story right here. We saw this in the previous game where Kelra is just winning the lane, and you might need to do something for Hiko here if you're Team Spirit to be able to provide him a better laning phase, but it really does just come down to these gold laner mechanics here, and Sawa taking some damage.
Oh, he might actually be the first to fall then. Fortunately, he has the flicker. One shot will try to chase after.
Kelra
catches Kelra, stops him in his tracks, and now it is clearly a better situation for Hiko in the early game.
That's tough. Loses the flicker too. Kelra being a little aggressive, I guess also mistiming that flicker because one shot comes through, finds that connection, and as we've seen before, concussive blast, especially early on, does considerable amounts of damage too. That's usually where we see like mid lane first bloods under the 1 minute mark. So with that happening, nothing too crazy, still evens across the board, but this turtle's for the taking, the first one of the game. TS gets control of it. Brusco's not level 4, and King Kong's still working on the buff.
Yep.
They want to fight for this.
Oh, Fist Crack already used to King Kong. Will try to go for the stun, but it's still his retribution. That's going to be able to secure the objective for Onic PH. And now the curtain call, stopping Sunset Lover and Kid Bomba from walking to wherever they want to go. But Kirk actually gets caught. That will be the way of the dragon denied, but the duality coming in from Super Prince, just dealing so much damage to clumped up members of Team Spirit.
That could have gone way different if Onic Philippines had a little more firepower in it. Maybe even if Brusco had the flicker available, because he could have gone in and gotten multiple members with the G-Kondo. But it didn't happen, so that's better for Team Spirit. But again, the objective went to Onic Philippines. So they're able to go ahead and get that. It's a small win for them for now. Nothing too crazy. Team Spirit still under control. I think, again, going back to it, the biggest thing is, taking care of Hiko, letting him have a better laning experience.
Yeah.
He did get the kill earlier on, so that is, at least a little bit of a benefit for him to build up. But I don't know. This is one of the things where it's like you really have to see how Team Spirit plays around the options that they have here. King Kong, just taking that.
Gets stunned there briefly by Sunset Lover, though. Oh, but Sao off-cam kill by Onic PH as well. It seems like they're able to somehow deal with whatever intentions that they have, and despite them trying to actually pay a bit more attention to Hiko, Onic PH, they still make all that pressure felt. Like Hiko still we can't say that he still has the best time right now in the laning phase, but Super Prince gets to escape that attempt from one shot. Won't break out into a fight just yet, though.
Great job from Brusco there. King Kong might go to the turret, has the damage, will pick up the kill, and sidestep in the final slash as well. So a good response there from Onic Philippines. I was going to say earlier on, Brusco did the right thing. He was able to put pressure where he needed to on Sunset Lover earlier on. So now second turtle's coming up here, and Onic Philippines is in a good position. This is now a little bit of a spike that they have here. Genius Wand picked up 2 for King Kong. That's going to work really well with Super Friends on the Lu Yi. That is going to help even do a little more damage that we're seeing from the reactions or the interactions of Super Friends. So the fight, though, for the space for this turtle is going to be crucial. Gold Laner still duking out 1v1, though.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot since that pill we saw onto Kelra, but that's a way of a dragon. But it's on to get Bomba. Fist Crack will be used as well. And one shot gets to steal the objective. Now Sunset Lover right in the face, takes down Kirk. And they will start to disengage after that. A surprising turn of events, but there's a diversion.
Oh, they're going for Hiko. They're going to go on the hunt, but I don't think they spot him out, and there's no kick from Brusco. So good job for Team Spirit. I mean, at least they're able to go ahead and secure themselves that, but Sunset Lover again And this is what King Kong does, and he gets his hands on the Joy. He will go and make these plays across the map. Sometimes if he gets the objective or not, it doesn't really matter in certain situations because he's able to get the right targets on this Joy and put enough pressure where it's like, hey, I'm in your side of the jungle. Either you respond to me or you lose resources, or you lose these 1v1s. And that's the tricky part of a Joy, is keeping up with her and then like trying to catch her.
Yeah, things have been very uncomfortable for Sunset Lover, or more so for Team Spirit in terms of however they wanted to make use of their lineup and coordinate their skills. But they actually find a setup here onto Super Prince. There goes YesOD, and Hiko will have to take him out on his own, but he will not have enough resources and gets threatened by the burst as well. So you see, once Onic PH gets to split up the entire intention from Team Spirit, or just denies them of being as coordinated as they should be, Team Spirit can't just get the job done.
Okay. At this point, Team Spirit has to might have to transition here. They're going to stay, for the most part, building up Hiko, letting him do his thing, but you know, this macro level of play is going to be, I feel like, the difference in this game. And anytime you have the Louis on in play, that's one of the main things. We've seen it from the diversion, but you're playing a constant catch-up game because of this. Like I said, oh, hold on, diversion used. One shot's tanking up. You don't want to kick him. So he'll go ahead and pop the ultimate, though. But this turtle's coming up, so he's going to go grab the purple buff. And then, I don't know, do they contest this? Because it's 1-for-1 for the Turtles right now. Onic has control of this. Brusco will jump in.
Maybe not anymore. Because they find a kill onto Sawo, making it 2 because they also find Sunset Lover. There's the setup coming in from Kid Bomba. SOD doesn't land, and there is the potential duality! Catching 2 members of Team Spirit who were just trying to walk away. And that's a clear win for Onic PH.
Really tough fight to take. Again, as we just saw, the damage that comes from a Joy and a Louis, what a kick to set things up. And then they force a fight even further in the mid. So they already lose 2 members for Team Spirit, but then the fight's still breaking out. And even if you're trying to run to your turret, you're not safe against this lineup here. So again, a really decisive play from Brusco. And you know, that's the thing with a Cho. You always have this option to set things up. Yeah, you know, you can feel the heat there.
Yeah,
you can see the heat.
It's getting pretty intense. King Kong also picks up the Holy Crystal. So that's going to be a lot more damage that you could expect from him. A lot more tricky for Sunset Lover to position himself, I guess, if there is that much damage already coming in. And like you mentioned, it's going to be so tough for Team Spirit to pull off whatever the intentions they have, because like whenever they try to group up, there's that duality that's just going to deal so much damage. But this time around, it might be a better situation for them. They find the kill on Kirk. Brusco gets away of the dragon, but not in the angle he wanted. But the damage from Kelra and Super Prince is just too much. Brusco trying to close in. Kid Bomba tries to protect the other members, and that was a diversion that was no longer committed. But Team Spirit, they're just so low. They might not actually get to defend that mid lane turret, and they won't.
They lose the tier 1. And that last fight, so good from Brusco. Again, these kicks have been on point. Even if it doesn't convert to a kill, he kicked Hiko. So Hiko wasn't actually able to go ahead and fight in that fight, do the damage he needs to do on this Mozkov. So when they lose a lot of that, and then they just have, you know, the feathered airstrike that they're relying on in these fights, you lose a bunch of your damage profile to be able to use.
That
is really tough.
It's gonna be super tough right now, considering that Team Spirit, if you look at the gold, majority of their members definitely are behind. Their XP laners, which we've put a lot of focus on, their XP laner is 1,000 gold behind as well. And now Brusco might get to go for another setup, decides to use it onto Kid Bomba. He could barely do anything to make it out alive. And that's 1 member down right before the objective.
Okay, objective is up. They've fought for this at this point. This is going to be an easy Lord to take for Onic Philippines. Really no contention. You can see the space on the diversion too. They're going to go send it up top. So there was some pressure up here on the tier 1, but Team Spirit still looking for, you know, these turrets to grab. And now we really have to look at this, Brigand, in the sense that, you know, what can Team Spirit do on this defense? You know, I would say they have relatively good firepower to fight a fight. The problem is a lot of that damage is being kicked away, or it's being zoned out from the fights, and it's being juggled around that they're not able to actually utilize it. Brusco's been a menace on this Cho. He's doing a phenomenal job at finding the right targets, but you can see it. I mean, there is still respectable damage being done from Sunset Lover himself alone. So I still think they handle this First Lord pretty well. Like, they're going to keep their base turrets intact unless there's a forced fight here.
Yep. It does feel like majority of the times, or whenever Team Spirit does want to go for the counter engage though, Onic PH just have enough damage to either take that one member down and just consecutively look for other targets too and just win the fight overall. That's the Holy Shield already popped as well for their base turret up top. So how Team Spirit decides to approach their counter engages is gonna be very crucial, but it seems like now what they're after isn't just any counter engage. They use the conceal, try to threaten Onic PH just a bit, and work on defending their waves for now. But Brusco's just seemingly waiting for that flicker to come in, and then that's when he might potentially go or look for an angle. So Team Spirit shouldn't be that complacent about whatever situation's happening. But wait, Sawo, he actually decides to go in, and now he misses the final slash and gets bursted down.
The struggle that we're seeing with the Arlots right now, and that's the case. Sawo goes down, try to force something, but ultimately you're so far behind, you just get outmaneuvered, outgunned. Feathered Airstrike to be used here to try to clear this out and hold on to this tier 2 turret in the mid lane, or bottom lane, but again, I think you're putting a lot of that weight now on Hiko.
Yeah.
He picks up the Malefic gun. He should be able to fight, I think the biggest problem is just, again, he doesn't have much space to work with just because there's such a threat. I mean, look at Brusco. He's been doing this all game.
Oh, and now he finds the kick onto Hiko, taking down the most important member right now, and the kill goes over to Kelra. King Kong gets traded out too, however, but Sunset Lover doesn't land the skills. And there's the vengeance still from Kirk, and the side steps. Oh my goodness.
The bob, the weave, the skip. It's they're really just kind of going with the fact that they have this kind of lead. They can get away with a lot, and that's what we're seeing. Even if it doesn't seem like there's an angle here for them to push in the base, Onic Philippines takes it anyway, whether they have a conceal or Brusco is available to go for the kick. So they knew that was worth, going for.
Yeah.
The Lord is going to be up now, and King Kong's back up. You're in a great position. Kelra, too, just having a great experience on the Granger here, picks up the BOD. So they're in, again, fighting form. And for Team Spirit, they have to make the decision. Do we actually contest this? Do we show ourselves for this fight? And it seems like they want to do that. And this has been the constant pressure that a lot of the roams in MSC have been feeling, especially when they pick up these, these heroes like the Arlot. You're kind of reliant on setting things up like that, or the Badang, for example, for Kid Bomba. There's the conceal.
Oh, Brusco finds Sawo. They decide to burst him down first, and King Kong finds the Lord. There's the final slap already committed on the Super Friends, but they don't have enough damage just yet. XOD will land, however, but does Hiko still want to fight this? He goes in, he looks for Super Friends, but there's the flicker, and now they use the diversion to bring him back closer to the target, but the duality won't land, but still, they still proceed with the fight. Wind of Nature used by Kelra, and one shot trying to look for another kill, but they just walk away.
What a play! He knew that the Feathered Airstrike was going to be set up, so he might as well go for it. Flickers forward, gets the kill. Kelra makes it happen in the 1v2 in the mid.
How?
That's Kelra.
That's okay.
I guess that's all we can say. I mean, he knew that there was eventually either he was going to go down or get Feathered Airstriked or something, so having that flicker available gave him that option. Little setup down here on the bottom. Lord's going to be cleared out, so this is at least good for TS. Can they withstand this fight, though? That might be forced down on them.
And that's the tankiest member. One shot already using the Tortoise Passans.
That's your tanky dude, and he doesn't look that tanky. It's, again, when you have this kind of build-up in the items for Onic Philippines, especially for Kelra, it's really hard to go through that. Look at the stacks here. Just absolutely stacked up. He's fully item locked, too. Locked in. He had to pop the Wind of Nature earlier on, but he's fine. And even though the Lord was taken care of, again, this is something that Team Spirit can play around. They always, when you consider yourself down this much, it's like, all right, what does this team do? and it's literally buying time. They clear out the Lord. That's great. Hiko is still in a fighting position. We've already seen it. He was in a good position to go and fight against Kelra.
Yep.
Like, the damage is there, but they've been having a hard time with Brusco here.
Honestly, for Team Spirit, I feel like they just really have to be mindful that no one at this point is definitely going to be safe. So wherever they decide to position themselves, it should be in a way that they could just immediately or easily find a way to regroup if things don't go too well for them. Because even targets like Sao or Kid Bomba seem like they're okay targets for Brusco to go for in terms of using the Way of the Dragon, and now Sao might just be able to find an angle. We'll be using the final slash on Kirk though, but the follow-up, it won't be there just yet. There's the Fettered Airstrike, as well as the back to shield Unity already committed onto Super Prince, but Brusco coming again from the sides will just have to disrupt the formation all over again. And not to mention, King Kong wasn't even part of that fight just yet.
Yeah, he wasn't a part of the fight, but I don't know. Team Spirit is looking like they're confident enough to take the fights, knowing the fact that they have enough damage.
Yeah.
Like, that's not even the question. The damage is not the question anymore. You've got a little more defensiveness now, though, for Hiko, which is really important. But you can see this. Oh, Sao goes in. Whoa, but the diversion brings him to safety anyway.
They casted that even before seeing Sao, so it was just really a way to keep the discipline there, make sure that they'll be all complete before this upcoming Lord, which is looking to be one of the most important objectives yet in this game. Kirk will be trying to deal a bit of damage onto one shot, but where does Team Spirit look for an angle? That's the curtain call already committed by Kirk. But one shot, will he decide to go in? Brusco's just holding this brush.
Brusco's holding on. He's got an immortality. Spear's going to be thrown out. So this is the moment for them to strike. Sao looking for his own angle, but he takes a lot of damage here.
Oh, there goes the final slash. But then again, the team fight's kind of split up, but Super Prince will be the first target here for Team Spirit.
Hiko?
Hiko's making things happen. Gets to look for Kirk. But then Brusco, he blocks one shot. There goes the fist crack, already committed as well. But all of them, Kirk and Brusco just get to survive, and Kelra just fighting the Sky Piercer stacks. Currently legendary on the Granger, still keeping his teammates safe. It's Kelra who actually protected his team.
He was there for them, and he's staying together. They're going to be able to find Brusco, but can Kelra do it? Hiko finds him, and they finally shut Kelra down. It's a turn of events for Team Spirit, and now Kirk on the run. But this is a clear sign for Team Spirit to take the Lord.
They probably stayed there a bit too long. And it was Team Spirit who was able to actually keep themselves in the game, but Hiko gets knocked out by the Lord and bursted down by Onic PH. Sunset Lover trying to look for another trade, but Kirk is trying to work on it as well, and that's going to be a shutdown by Onic PH.
Man, the tables have turned, the tables. It's all back and forth just when it looks so good for Team Spirit. A diversion comes in clutch for Onic Philippines. Talk about timing.
That was the most clutch diversion. Well, maybe second to that escape diversion we saw down bottom. There are too many diversions happening in this map. You know, like, I'm not sure how to rank them anymore, but now it's another diversion used to pressure the bottom lane, and they take down the base turret even before the Lord arrives.
We need a diversion tier list at some point for people to throw out there, but right now it's this Lord making its way down bottom. Team Spirit trying to do their best to hold on.
They find Kid Bomba, but Kid Bomba still has the flicker. Now Kirk goes in, uses the Vengeance as well, just tries to keep the pressure going for Team Spirit. And now they get to defend, to a certain extent, the incoming waves that are approaching their base. But now they have to let go of all their base turrets.
The work on the Lord here, base turrets all gone. Onic Philippines might just decide that's all we can take. Again, they're respecting what this lineup from Team Spirit can do and the amount of damage that it does have. Sao is always going to be a problem at this point, because if they do get caught in a bad situation like we saw previously where it was a forced fight, then Onic Philippines, even with this, again, are in a position where they could make a mistake position-wise, Kelra gets caught out, or something happens. You know, and that's the thing. Both teams are actually doing a relatively good job at protecting the gold laners. But Hiko has to be a little more aggressive because of the fact that he's on a Moskov instead of a, Kalra can shoot off a little bit from a distance with the Granger. Now, that's the hard part for them. Spirit Destruction going to be thrown. Kirk will go ahead and give him a high five for that. And look at the positioning here. They want to force it in the mid.
Oh, maybe regroup for now because King Kong might come in at any given moment. But they spotted him out, so they decide to play it safe. That could have been a close call for Team Spirit, though. Quick look on the in-game equipment, but maybe we talk about that later because the Fury Bite was already used by Sunset Lover here. Windsor Crown briefly tries to keep him safe. Might get to burst down. King Kong pops the immortality, and now it's his turn to use the Windsor Crown.
Oh, the setup's still going. Kelra has the space. Sao is 1 HP away, but he goes unleashing on Kirk. He jumps on over the wall, picks up an immortality, and tries to buy a little bit more time, but he has trouble with that. And again, the Lord is up. 2 fall for Onic Philippines.
Okay, I can see how everyone is feeling about this situation right now. People are standing up. And you understand why. This has been such a close fight. We're already approaching the 21-minute mark, and Team Spirit have somehow just kept themselves in the game despite how Onic PH seemed to have dominated so much already.
They have pretty much handled a 7, almost 8,000 gold lead that Onic Philippines has had. And now I feel like Team Spirit, they got the spirit. They're going to start up this Lord. There's a diversion used. Does Onic Philippines decide to try to take this? Super Friends up front.
Oh, duality used onto one shot. Sunset Lover gets affected as well, but will Bruce will get to use the Way of the Dragon? It seems like he just is forced to walk for now.
King Kong
Sunset
trying to get there in
Lover
time.
very low though. King Kong, will he make it in time? No! And somehow, to Onic PH, the call is just to chase after the members of Team Spirit. There's another duality affecting one shot.
King Kong, go for Hiko.
From behind! Goes for Hiko, but somehow gets to reposition and keep himself alive.
And Onic Philippines is full force healthy as Team Spirit lost 2, but they managed to get the objective. King Kong not there in time. Can the 3 hold out? With Onic Philippines now approaching the base. Can they end it here?
They have minions, but the Lord is going to spawn in a few moments as well from Team Spirit, so they will have a bit more tools to manage this attempt. No, Kirk gets bursted down. There's a better airstrike. He gets to dodge it, but he doesn't touch the Spear of Destruction.
And the feathered airstrikes, so good as well. They'll deal with the Lord here, but now Team Spirit, Kid Bulma up in the front. He's got an immortality. I don't think he wants to force it. He does have the flicker available. And they know that Kirk is down for another 40 seconds. What can they convert off of this? That Lord nearly worked on here, but Onic Philippines, for the first time for the majority of this game, will find themselves on the back foot. They're definitely going to lose some space here. And right now, Team Spirit focusing on the top side.
Okay. So Team Spirit are able to hold on this Lord still and might just get this tier 2 up top. There's a conceal, so they might try to go for something. Force out the flicker from Kelra. That's going to be massive for Team Spirit.
They hold on as much as they can. Nearly down there. But for Team Spirit, they have fought tooth and nail to get back into this game. What a game 3 it's been. They'll find the tier 1, possibly the tier 2, forcing Onic Philippines in their base. And this is where we see this kind of lineup, which is a much better sieging lineup if they can pull it off.
Okay, the duality catches up too many members, but Brusco gets caught as well. Curtain call committed onto just Sao, and he answers right back with a final slash. But Team Spirit, they're running away. They're low on HP. They have to escape. Sao barely makes it out alive, and that's gonna be the disengage. What a fight by both of these teams.
What a game already. Again, neither team able to capitalize on a kill from there, but Onic Philippines stays in it. So many immortalities, so many items being juggled at this point. Almost 25 minutes in, and this Lord is so crucial here for either team as both get ready for positioning here. Now, this is where we typically see an advantage with having a Louis Yi. That might be the play, it might not. You can already see the positioning here, but for Team Spirit, they're fully immortality it up. They've got everything they need. They'll start this Lord, but they have to be crucial about it because it does a lot of damage. Just like Sunset Lover. Keeps Kelra and Super Friends in check here.
Yeah, that diversion was used in a position that revealed where Onic PH were. So Team Spirit have full information and have an idea of where all of these members are. I don't think Eco's gonna go for that, but yeah, they have to manage the waves first though. Team Spirit, given that their base is exposed, clearly are at a disadvantage when it comes to the waves.
This is the new dance that we have right now with the Lord. Diversion can be used. They won't follow through with it. This is about as rare it is now in the meta. We don't see this too often, 25 minutes in.
Yep.
The battle for this kind of Lord. Trying to manage your base, because for Team Spirit, that's the biggest disadvantage. All base turrets are down, and we've seen it before where Onic Philippines, especially with Louis, will just run it down on the opposite side of the map. That can't happen here. So they've been keeping this Lord around half health, just waiting for that window of opportunity. This is a crucial point for Team Spirit to answer. We'll go for a reset, but the Feathered Airstrike dropped down too. Sound quite low, but do they commit?
Oh, they will actually commit, but Brusco finds Eco! Kirk is the
still
first
alive.
to fall though, but he's somehow still alive, and he actually finds King Kong! Now Sao blocking the path of the other members, but this is clearly Team Spirit at an advantage.
Oh,
They're
Eco.
the ones with the
That
better
Lord hurts, Eco.
numbers.
Yeah, that Lord hurts. I don't think he wants to tank that up. He's got to go back to the base. Yes, same sentiments. Bring it up for everyone in the audience. Hiko was so close to that Lord, and we've seen it before, where a Lord at this point can take down some people and be an MVP.
Yeah.
So we're back to it. Onic Philippines loses a member, but they still hold it together. Again, that's the advantage I was talking about.
Ooh.
Here's a concealed play. They're going to go for
Whoa.
Super Prince. They get the flicker. And now Kelra and Brusco on the run.
Super Prince gets to use the diversion out. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be top 1 on my ranking now.
The diversion tier list continues to build as Game 3 has been absolute cinema already. Still the fight for the Lord to ensue. Brusco could be in trouble here. He does have an immortality. Can he buy enough time? What's the play here? They're going to go and focus on him.
Oh, they're gonna work on Brusco. Is he gonna buy enough time though? Actually still survives that.
Kid Bomba's not going to fall for it. He was down in the base, so Kid Bomba, he's seen it time and time again, and it's not happening this time for Team Spirit.
Yep.
Welcome back to the dance.
Welcome back. We're still here. 27 minutes in the game. We're still here. Dancing for the Lord. Immortality already popped though for Brusco. That's one thing you could probably take note of if you are Team Spirit. So Brusco will have to be a little more particular when he decides to go in and look for angles to set up using the Way of the Dragon. But still, this doesn't change the fact that Onic PH can still have other ways to work around. There are diversion plays that can still come in, even if it doesn't start with Brusco. You just have to be very careful about it.
There's only so many immortalities, winter crowns, rose gold dogs that you can bring to the table. And eventually, those will run out. You'll have to switch things up. Diversion goes for Hiko. Oh, Brusco not close enough. Just about able to spot out Hiko. So now they're on this bottom side of the map, but still, neither team can really commit to this Lord just because of how beefy it is, how much it hurts. You can't really hold it there, even if you're one shot, which is crazy to think. You know, back with our utility junglers before, they could just hold it all day. Well, right now, you can't.
Yeah, my heart can handle this anymore! The SLD is gonna land onto Kark, and they're actually gonna burst him down, but there's a diversion play! And it's Super Prince all alone! Will he be able to save the game for his team, though? He does deal enough damage. King Kong from behind might just look for an angle, but there's the final slash! And King Kong gets blocked by the fist break, fist crack!
King Kong's in trouble, buys time with the Winter Crown, but it's not going to be enough as they are falling on the defense. Onic trying to run, but Sao jumps in with a flicker. He has Kelra in sight, as well as Super Prince, and he can't escape either. Team Spirit has clawed back into this game. Kelra will keep them at bay. Another shot will get the shut down. Picks up another. Can he find Hiko? Hiko versus 2. Kelra and Brusco on the hunt.
Everything's on Hiko. Hiko has to defend this game.
Oh, can Hiko pull this off? He still has these minions, but Brusco popped the conceal. They're going to run him down. That's the kick. But did they buy enough space here? And the base is already going to be worked on. And Onic Philippines will make it happen in Game 3.